Hi guys, welcome to PIXIENATORY and I'm Pixie. Happy Halloween to y'all! This video I prepared with my collaboration mate Telly Dollies. She offered me to take a place in a small but very cool collaboration. Telly is a bit late with her doll, but please check out her channel down in the description box and subscribe to not miss her video when it is done. Telly is doing something unbelievably cool. She is an incredible artist. And we're going straightly to the theme of today's video. This year I do not celebrate Halloween. I used to visit my friends in Kiev, but unfortunately this year we can't meet up. With time, Halloween became one of my favorite holidays, even if in Ukraine it is not specifically a traditional holiday. I like it because it is bright, it is positive despite the fact that almost everything about this day is supposed to be scary and spooky. And I love horror movies. People like to be scared in a good way, you know. So doll I'm going to make in this video is a character from a horror movie. You probably heard and maybe even have seen the movie Hellraiser. It is an original universe created by writer Clive Barker in 1986. I personally never read it or watched the movies, but when Telly said that we're going to make Cenobites, I went into this fandom. If you don't know, Cenobites are some kind of demon-like monster race from the world of the Hellraiser. You maybe know the most famous one, a pinhead dude. Those creatures previously were humans. Once a human, Cenobite opened the mystery box of Pandora and got trapped in its net. Promises of fulfilling any wish imaginable become a deadly mistake in hands of this once human. It was their unresolvable puzzle that leads them only to desperation and pain. The human becomes a Cenobite, a creature that achieved the highest point of their so-called development and gained the peak form of a demon. Cenobite lost every drop of humanity almost completely. The border between pain and pleasure smudged, and the only purpose of their lives is to be summoned by another human, and to be a fanatic executor of the highest will of the greatest pleasure, the pain. I want to create not specifically classic Cenobite, but my version of this demon. The author of the original book describes Cenobites very figuratively, so the look of each Cenobite can be very unique based on personal visualization. Cenobites are a mix of explicit themes. I recommend you to read a book or watch movies for more insight into their origin. My Cenobite is more on the feminine side of the story. For her look I picked red and gold colors. For a base doll I took Dracubecca from Monster High. Studs and lines on her body and face were the decisive reason why I chose her. For materials I picked PU fabric and mesh. Also plenty of metallic accessories. Now I will closely tell you about the process of creating this doll. You already saw how I prepared all materials and made patterns, and here I'm halfway through making her headpiece. I was inspired by a Catholic nun's headdress. I like its shape. The design is simplistic and elegant. Instead of a short veil, I made my Cenobite a very long one to cover all her body from the back. Inside it I saw a layer of a thin golden mesh. On top of her coif I put a pair of long cones. Now I'm decorating them with a golden chain and a pair of bold rings. On the back of the veil I place a pretty randomly made golden dangle that will hang in there. I connected everything with more golden chains and rings, so it will not slide too much here and there. Borders of the veil I trimmed with shaped scissors and made it spiky. On some spikes I saw golden beads. To the edge of the mesh I attached golden laces. I did a great job on her shoes, to be honest, and I'm proud of it. You will see why. For a base I took simple heels and cut off the belts on them. I need only a nose tip and heel with the sole. I want to transform them into the high-tie boots. Prepare all edges of the pattern and move next. For a neat look, every fabric should be treated with some kind of heat, and PU is quite of a bastard to iron, if you ask me. I resolved this issue by using simple cotton fabric. Put PU detail between layers of plain cotton and iron it at low temperatures. This outfit is mostly made of PU, so it was so much pain in the bum to safely process. Sew up the front seam of the boot. Then attach the nose tip and sew it on as well. Pressing seams with heat allows a final item to lay closer to a doll's body and define a shape. Put a boot base on the doll's leg. Glue fabric to a plastic shoe and trim all excess. With needle and thread, I tie the bottom edges of the pattern and carefully tighten it. Out of a piece of hard-based PU, I make a golden sole for a boot. Cover the heel and all gaps with paint. Put a hollow metallic bit onto the heel. In front of the boot, I will make the most massive lace ties that I've ever made. As usual, I'm going to start with sewing on small rings one by one. And we got it, but it is only one, second on the way. With a thin ribbon, I cover all seams on the boot. On the body, I will put quite revealing bodysuit with an open cut on her chest. As usual, hem everything and then assemble pieces. As before, all seams I press with a hair iron. I move coherently, making one major seam at once and then taking care of the next one. At this point, the bodysuit looks right, but even after I went that far, mistakes happens. Here you can see that I trimmed the wrong part of the armor opening, and I just need to find a resolution as soon as possible or redo the whole piece. And a solution was found. It extended working hours on this item for about an hour, but I'm happy that I was able to save all the previous work. I cut and replaced the screwed parts of the body and made new one. Now I can continue process the bodysuit as was planned before. I hem the arm seams. With pencil I mark places for a few darts. And then make them. Neck edge I also make spiked with scissors. At last it is time to close the side seams of the bodysuit and hem the back opening. The opening on her back went too small, so I dissolve it a bit. With it done, I will make the same corset ties on her back. And cover seams with the ribbon. In front of her bodysuit I placed a few delightful golden accents. And it is done as well. It was hard piece to make, but I did it. Now let's lace it. Wowee! Remind me of a spine. Cenobites are having plenty of flesh modifications on their bodies. Usually those are quite drastic, even disturbing. Yeah, I like to watch horror movies, but not to make creepy dolls. So modifications on my doll would be just symbolic. Like golden hoops installed into her hands and imitations of scraped off skin. I painted her body parts red with an airbrush to represent arterial blood, and bright gold elements would create a good contrast with that deep red color. The doll's body itself has a nice representation of a Cenobite features, like studs all over her. On her hands I also put a chain just like on the whale. Spaces between her body plates I selectively fill with red paint. With golden paint I emphasize studs. I do not paint every one of them. Those that will be covered I leave like it is. It is less of a chance to scrape them off the doll's body. And we move to the face part of this video. As you can see, I painted Dracubecca's face with an airbrush to create a gradient on her forehead. Some of the paint went on her nose and cheekbones, and I like this effect. And you already know the main idea of a Cenobite, but you don't know anything about the one I'm making, so I'm telling you now. My main idea was to create a beautiful, still sinister demon Cenobite. The one that you'd wish to come for you. Still, she should be dangerous and wild. Achieve a balance between beautiful and scary, elegant and disturbing. Combine two opposite feelings into the one doll to create something unique. I feel that I was able to do that. My Cenobite hasn't her own name. She's actually a pretty random girl. I even hadn't planned to make her in the first place. I knew literally nothing about these creatures. I was afraid that they will not make this doll the way I will like her myself. But she turned out the most outstanding one that I made. I really loved taking photos with her, the final footage clips. She's a dream for a collection. But not mine collection, since I do not collect dolls myself. In a moment you will see why this girl is so special. Her footage was so much fun to make. Truly a gem. I want this girl to find her new home, so I'm selling her. If you want her, please contact me via my Instagram for more details. For a future owner of this summoned demon mistress, I want to say thank you. I hope she will become a decent part of your collection. So I hope you enjoyed staying with me today and spent part of your precious time watching me create my doll inspired by Hellraiser universe. I want to say big thanks to Dollies for having me in her collaboration. It was an experience that I value dearly. Thank you. More custom dolls are coming soon, so subscribe to my channel to not miss any. Have a great Halloween, guys! I'd highly appreciate your comments as your thank you to me, guys, for my work. Wait a moment to see a final doll. And since I have nothing more to say, it is time to say see you in my next videos, guys. Have a sweet and spooky Halloween night. Bye! Симбушка, вы заняли мое место. Симбочкин, Симбочкин, мишака ты срака.